Welcome back, travelers. Welcome to the Rocky Wrap-Up. I hope that you had the best time in Imagination Station and on the Bible Express. Now, I want you to think about what it takes to make a train operate. There's a lot of different people who have to help the train not only work and actually run, but there's also people who have to lay the tracks. There are people who have to make sure the train gets to its destination on time. There are so many different things that go into making a train run, and it is not easy. Ask anybody who's worked on a train. There's a lot to remember and a lot to do. Well, I have an activity for us to see if we can do something that seems really easy, but actually might be kind of hard. I want you to pull out your set of 3 train tracks. Now you have 2 sets, but only pull out one of them. Here is your tricky train challenge. I need you to rip these 3 train tracks into 3 separate tracks using only your 2 hands. Let's try it. Ripping paper's easy, right? I don't know about you, but didn't work for me. Let's try that again. This time, I'm going to give you a track tearing tip. Sometimes our 2 hands are not enough, so we're going to add in something else. I want you to use your mouth too. Watch this, and you give it a try. Check it out, 3 tracks. Sometimes doing hard things means you have to try it more than once. And sometimes it means that we need help from the people around us to do it. Or it just means we need another tool to accomplish something. Well, in our lives, when we encounter hard things that make us sad or confused or hurt, we definitely can't work through those things all by ourselves because we're humans. We don't have the power to do that. We feel those things, and those things are real. But that's what Jesus' power is for. Sometimes Jesus gives us people to encourage us. Sometimes he brings along a friend or a family member or maybe a coach. He brings in people to encourage us and help us do that thing well. Sometimes he brings in just himself. Sometimes we feel alone, but we know we're not alone. We know that Jesus is with us when we trust him. Now, that's hard because we can't be together all the time. And I think that this whole experience of having to do VBS on our own is a really good example of that. We can't always rely on people to help us because people are humans and people make mistakes. But Jesus' power helps us do hard things. Trust Jesus. Now, trusting Jesus is hard when we can't see him, but he gives us his word. He gives us the Bible to remind us that he is who he says he is, and he has the power to bring us through. He is the greatest friend we could ever have. And when we read about him in the Bible, we get to rely on him more and more. The Bible says that we have everything we need for life and godliness. Godliness means obeying God. It means being more and more and more like Jesus. I want you guys to think about times where Jesus' power helped you come through something hard. So maybe a time when you moved and you felt lonely, maybe a time when you started a new school, maybe during this time where you had to stop going to school, maybe when you didn't get to play sports anymore, maybe when you went through something with your family. I want you to think about a time where that happened and Jesus' power helped bring you through that. Now, if you can't think of a time when that happened, I want you to think of a time where you could use Jesus' power to help you through. So maybe it's something that you're going through right now. Maybe it's something that you feel anxious or worried about. If we didn't have Jesus' power, doing hard things would just be hard. There wouldn't be any hope in it. Let's sing a new song about how we can have hope in God alone.
God of heaven and earth, you are amazing. You hold me up with your hand, you give me faith, and I will put my hope in you alone, in you alone. God of heaven and earth, you are amazing. You hold me up with your hand, you give me faith, and I will put my hope in you alone, in you alone.
I will put my hope in you
I hope you had a great time at Rocky Railway Day 1. We cannot wait to see you back here tomorrow.
We trust in you, Jesus. You're all that we need. Your power will pull us through. We're trusting in you. We're trusting in you. You give us hope and life that's forever. You make us bold and we stand together. Your power will pull us through. We're trusting in you. We're trusting in you. We're off on this journey, there's no looking back. With Jesus to lead us, we're on the right track. Oh, 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 oh. Wide open spaces for wide open eyes. We're looking ahead for the next big surprise. Oh, 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 oh. We trust in you, Jesus. You're all that we need. Your power will pull us through. We're trusting in you. We're trusting in you. You give us hope and life that's forever. You make us bold and we stand together. Your power will pull us through. We're trusting in you. We're trusting in you. We're off on this journey, there's no looking back. With Jesus to lead us, we're on the right track. Oh, 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 oh. Wide open spaces for wide open eyes. We're looking ahead for the next big surprise. Oh, oh.